trenches. My sister, my brother was slain, and I haven't seen any mentions. From social media and networks, so irritated that my head hurts. And when I do, it's only excerpts, small commentary from the experts. No appreciation for the lives lost. I posted up with the iron cross when the smoke clears from fine off. All I think about is my fault, man. Should have been there to protect you. The bullets that came and they wrecked you. Now it's my duty to go and collect you. Wrapping the casket, sending you home. Not full of madness, knowing you gone. How could this happen? Tell me I'm wrong. Dip in the sadness, leave me alone. Doctor got me medicated, wanna get me regulated. Helping me recover with the pain. Even though we celebrated everything you dedicated, now I gotta make it through the rain.
Where's that thing gonna find a thing? Where's the wood in a golden frame? I still love you, I still love you, I still love you through the rain. Where's that thing gonna find a thing? Where's the wood in a golden frame? I still love you, I still love you, I still love you through the rain.
Army specialist Aaron David Robinson is accused of killing Guillen, and his girlfriend Cicely Aguilar is accused of helping him get rid of the body. And tonight, we have Aguilar's confession about exactly what happened the night Guillen disappeared.
Well, today marks 2 years since an Air Force veteran was shot and killed by a DeKalb County police officer. 27-year-old Anthony Hill, whose family says he suffered from PTSD, was naked and unarmed when he was shot by Officer Robert Olson during an encounter.
Olson was indicted by a grand jury and faces felony murder along with other charges. And now we've learned the DA has appointed a new prosecution team in that case.
Yeah.
Got another one. Yeah.
Everybody hate Chris.
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 They hating on my face.
They hating on my face.
They hate me for my fam.
They hate me for my family.
Now they hating on my faith.
Now they hating on my face.
But they made me what I am.
But they made me what I am.
They hate me cause of Trump.
They hate me 'cause of Trump.
What they gotta do with this?
What they gotta do with this?
But it really go to show.
What it really gonna show?
They everybody hate Chris. Think you know who I supported? Biden or Trump, a debate I avoided. My vote this election I never reported. Cause Jesus, my family, my job was important.
Way more important.
Now I'm trending on Twitter, all because some actors chose to be bitter. Refuse to fulfill my role as an avenger for Biden's campaign, so they say I'm a quitter. I don't bother with the hearsay. I'm not involved in politics in the first place. But if you really want to talk about a story, then you really need to worry about Hunter and his drug face. Cause I heard what they found on that hard drive when I've been chilling, getting busy on the par 5. Going fishing, tending to my farm, live a very simple life, and they still give me a hard time. What's crazy is it started all randomly, attacking who I am and my belief in Christianity. I pray to God that he helped me with my sanity, cause every single day I'm losing faith in humanity. Making my wifey go crazy and act up. Robin and Marka, I appreciate the backup. If this continue, I may need to pack up. My life as I know it, then lead till they slack up. And since my
Look at my screen. All right. Welcome to Plausible Foolishness. We are the two kings of the Rube Empire. I'm the Philosopher King, the Ivory Tower, the Mad Scientist Matt, and I've got a perspective on things. Take it, Ray.
You would think that Olympus has fallen. you would think that you might know my name. In fact, you might even call me the Patriot, but what you can't mistake is the strong one is in the house. And unfortunately, I have to give it up to. Go ahead, Dusty. Go ahead.
That's right. I am the right hand of the king, the kick-ass Duke, the one, the only, the Dusty. I'm in the house too. Welcome. I cannot say welcome enough. We have one of our greatest people that we get to interview, and this is not the first time, second time. This is our third time interviewing. This is great.
Technically,
Give it up.
Is it the
technically,
fourth
it's
time?
number
It's the
4.
fourth time.
It's
Because remember,
times.
Space Force.
Bro, this is 4 Horsemen level. Ladies and gentlemen, Topher Town music.
Woohoo.
What's up, everybody, man? If I put it like this, the way this is starting off, I know this is gonna be a good show. So hopefully, y'all sit down and got your coffee or something, because boy, it's about to be spilled in your lap. So let's get into it, man. What's
Listen,
going on, fellas?
Topher, I try to tell people every time this is the greatest show that they will ever watch. They haven't seen it yet. You know what I mean? So like at the end of the day, every episode is the greatest episode, and because you're on it now. So let's rock and roll with it, baby.
Let's get it.
All right, so first off, 222.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Actually, first off, I want to apologize for all the craziness that's happening on screen. We got 4 streams, and we're streaming live to you, and it's causing my computer to go crazy. But
Good.
yes, 222. You just released it on 222 at 222 in the morning.
I did not do that, but it was. So I would have, but I'm not Kanye, so I needed extra time to get those sales in. So we released it at midnight. Yeah.
Okay. All right. But
Listen.
within hours, you were number 1 in hip hop. Correct?
Absolutely.
Yes.
Within an hour and a half.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. So within
Yes.
2 hours,
I love it.
you were number 1. And then,
Put like this, by 2:22 a.m. I was number 1. How about that?
Amen.
oh yeah, hell yeah. Then where did it go on the total charts?
Later on that day, I think that night we went to bed was number 8 overall, and by 10 a.m. the next day we was number 2 overall, right below Encanto, which is the movie soundtrack for the movie, and that was it. We was whipping everybody's booty, and we had so many people that released like KRS-One. It was like one of the legends of hip hop. We still beating him, battling back and forth for number 1 right now, which is still crazy to even think about. Who
Talking
else?
about you're being KRS-One right now?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
That really is awesome.
Go sit down, old man. Go sit down. Go sit down, old man.
Hey, you mess with the big boys now, man. You know, you thought you just had that reputation, and you're gonna come with that boom bap, but I got that boom clap. We're a little bit different.
I mean, is it a Tom Brady situation where it's like, listen, just retire, man? You know what I mean? Is it one of those things like quit? Let's make the decision.
I'm trying to get my Matt Stafford on, man. So when I'm giving my victory speech at the end of the week for hitting Billboard, I'm just over there watching people fall off the stairs and 8 feet.
I feel you, man. My heart's a little broken though. I'm a Bengals fan, so Houday Nation. I can't even be mad. We had a good season, so I'm not even mad. So I'll take it.
Well, Rams just had better D, man. That D came wrong, and the big offensive plays, man, at the end there.
Yeah. Hey, listen, you just got a better album than KRS-One. That's why you're beating him. So I feel you, man. So hey, listen, let's talk about it.
Let's go.
Tell me about it. What was the inspiration, man? What was going on with the album? How'd this come to fruition?
So, I released No Apologies, my debut album, back in March 3rd, 2021. So it was about that time. I try to do one once a year, or at least I'm gonna try to be on that pace. And it was about that time to release one. So back in December, I believe, or at least early January, one of them, I can't remember. But it was before I made my announcement on January 11 with the cover art that I was going to release on February 22nd. But I saw a post from one of my friends, Ray, and she said, Man, in 2022, February is gonna be, on February 22nd, it's gonna be it's gonna be a Tuesday, because not only that, but it's on a Tuesday, so it's just everyone was like, oh
Yep.
man, that's insane. I was like, yo, that's my birthday, yo. Like my birthday's gonna be that epic. I said, I can't. You know how you be like, oh, that was designed for me. That was a day waiting for me to come up and do something. So I was like, oh yeah, this is my day. So I decided then, I said, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on an album, or at least I'm gonna drop my album then. I didn't start working on my album until about January, and came up with the idea behind the gem you see on the cover art is the aquamarine gemstone, which is the Pisces birthstone. So and then I went with the 222 just by itself, because I was trying to go for more clean luxury look, similar to just some high fashion stuff. Because with this album, I wanted something more fashionable.
Okay.
Kind of like trying to do my Kanye, a little bit of my
Yeah.
Yeezus in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that was my idea going into it. So that's why I know my name sounds like something you can walk down a runway to a little bit. Like, that was like the initial idea. Now, and the once in a century, of course, is because this date is once in a century. So every 100 years was a two, So that was the idea. And also, what's pretty cool is I plan on eventually creating a brand called Once in a Century, and that web domain was available. So it was clutch. So now I got, I don't know why nobody has it, but I got onceinthecentury.com. And I'm gonna hold on to it so I can eventually branch out all my merch to it and develop something from there. But yeah, so I started with that idea of fashion, and I ended with I want to burn the industry down, because my song "Let's Go Brandon," at least the lyrics were banned shortly after I got started on my album from Genius.com, and I was like, the lyrics. I'm like, the lyrics, not the song, but the lyrics. And then so mine was banned, and Bryson's. The only versions banned. Like Lowe's version was not banned, and he was cussing and everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
So the only clean versions were banned, and I was like, yo, this is weird. So then I was like, okay, I know Donald Trump is not on here, obviously, because there's nothing but words and slurs and murder to the president in this song. It won't be on here. Going as visible and with this hundreds of thousands of views, no problem. And I was just like, yo, how much more obvious can y'all be? Because I hit everybody up I could. No one responded to my messages. So then I was like, nope. Yeah, I'm about to put some smoke on this album. And that's why I ended up with like Uprising. And then that was other songs like Inception, Enough is Enough type vibes. It's like, yo, I'm tired of everything. And so you can thank Genius for this Genius album. Definitely turned the directions of things, man. So it came out great. The reviews so far have been phenomenal. I think on iTunes, 26 reviews, one star, but they didn't leave a review. So I'm assuming it was just somebody saying like, I gotta rain on their parade for no reason.
Of course.
always gonna be a one person.
There's always one. There's always one.
Well, it's like it's like Daily Wire's new movie Shut In, right? You got a 97% score. Like, who's voting this thing down? And I don't know if you got to see the movie or not when it premiered, but it was phenomenal. I mean, it was great. There's nothing weak about it. So it nothing can be perfect, you know what I mean? But it screams to your talent, and I do appreciate the intensity. I tend to be an intense guy, so you'll be seeing many of your videos tagged on my lifting videos very soon. So just throwing that out there.
Awesome. So, I love it. But yeah, so that's kind of where it's at, man. And like I said, I brought on some new people that I wanted to collab with and do some stuff that was more unique to Topher, like Tel Aviv, which I'm rapping in Hebrew and English. And then, so no other rapper can do that, and no other conservative rapper. So you're not going to get that song. So it's something unique to Topher, and I wanted to do songs like that. Like Enough is Enough is a blues, gospel-ish track. And I did that because I grew up on blues and gospel from Mississippi. So it was like I wanted to kind of add my personality to some of these tracks. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I feel like this is a big tone switch from Like just listening to the music of it, there's a tone switch from your first album.
Mhm.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think the first album I was kind of still testing the waters,
Hmm.
trying to find my sound and find my place. But I felt like I was secure and confident in what I want to do with the second album. So I feel like that's what bled into it. Because I don't even think I would have did a Know My Name on the first album, just because it wasn't. To me, at that time, I probably was like, well, this is not political enough, and they might not like it, you know.
Mm.
But it was one of those things like, no, they know who I am at this point, and it's like I'm just gonna rap about whatever. And I thought it was a dope track, and
It's
so
my
I would-
favorite. It's my favorite on it. No, straight up, no, man. Because it's so. Here's the thing: it's like sometimes you gotta let people know who you are, you know, and it is what it is. Like, you know, as much as people try to ignore what you've done and what you've accomplished, I think just putting your stats on a beat is just sometimes you just gotta let people who you know who you are. And I appreciate you know, I don't listening to all the listeners out there. I'm not telling you to go out and listen to the game right now. Listen to that rapper. He's a little intense, but I just love. I love his tenacity, and he just, you know, to let people know, hey, this is what it's all about. I got that feel from Know My Name, especially, and obviously Olympus Falling. I think that was. I just like the intensity. I keep coming up with that word for this album, but it's just I like it.
Very intense for sure.
Oh, dude, I'm just like, I'm a psychopath for intensity. So ask Matt every time I see him at church, I almost knock him over. So it is what it is. So it's how it rolls.
It's true.
Come here,
Just wait till I get him angry.
Yeah,
I'll get him angry.
yeah. That's me happy. Just wait
He
till
gets a
I'm
little
pissed, right?
green and starts yelling Dusty.
Yeah, I know, right? So, real quick question. I've got to know this from artists because I love picking the mind of an artist. What goes into song selection for you, especially like in albums? The way that like the way you pick the tone of how an album's put together. Like how is that? What goes in your mind when you're saying, hey, listen, I want to set the tone from the beginning with Know My Name. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you make those decisions when you're putting an album together?
I think I always think albums should it's almost like a plane. You take off and then you want to land it,
Okay.
right? But you don't want to land it to where they never come back, right? But you want to land it to where they feel like, okay, the trip was a success type thing. So that's why I start off with a lot of the high energy tracks like Know My Name, Give Them a Show, Olympus Is Falling, and Uprising, right? Like
Uprising,
they
yeah.
got completely high energy.
Yep.
And then when it switches over to Tel Aviv, it's a nice, fresh, like, okay, let's take a break from the intensity. Let's have a little fun. Let's vibe out to some some national world music type stuff. And then it slows down a little bit to Shadows, where we get into these serious topics about, what to do about those relationships where you had kind of walk on eggshells and you got to decide whether you're going to be truthful or you're going to hide and keep the peace because you don't want to upset nobody's feelings and you want to be friends, or do you be like, nah, F that, I'm not living in the shadows.
Where are the other ones?
So that's the question, right? And I want the songs, and then it goes up to Inception, which is continues down that road, and then because you're descending, right? And then you get to Enough Is Enough, and it's just that, okay, the fight was good, enough is enough. I felt enough is enough about this thing, and boom. And then it's just enough to where it's not too much of a dynamic difference between that and when you loop back to Know My Name.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I was thinking when I placed these tracks in order. And these were like some of the first tracks I got done, I think, too. So I don't have like 50 tracks and I chose the best 8. I'm not that artist. I'm not.
Come on, Tupac. Come on, man. Just pump
I'm
it
gonna
out.
say you like that because some people like MJ say, how many you think songs think MJ? MJ wrote 150 songs and sold 12. I'm not doing that, I don't have that type of time. I just don't really feel like I was like, if I'm gonna make a song, I'm gonna do it right the first time. So
Yeah.
I don't really have to waste it.
Yeah.
But I will say I kept to 8 songs specifically because people was like, man, you got some other songs you released this year that you could have put on there. I said, sure, but I wanted 8 because of 2 times 2 times 2.
Mm-hmm.
So you get 8, and 8 is also numerology means new life, new beginnings, and that type of stuff. So I was just still playing with the numerology of all the numbers type thing. And also,
Not
I'm
to mention,
eight child on my dad's side, so just kind of tying it back to Topher, and then those type of things.
I like it.
I love it.
Sorry, one more question. It's Dusty. I'm sorry. I know you're chomping at the bit, Dusty. I'm just like a little kid in a candy store right now. Tel Aviv.
Go, bud.
So when
Go.
are you calling Modest Yahoo to like do a collab? You know what I'm talking about? You and Modest Yahoo, that would be fire. I'm just throwing it out there because he did a collab with POD a long time ago. He's a little bit older, I know, but you bring a little Hebrew flavor to it. You know what I mean?
I'm open for it. There's some younger artists I've been introduced to over there as well. That's kind of got that modern twist to it. So I'm fine with it. It's just that one was just me. Actually, I never rapped like that before. It was just like a really cool,
nice.
You know what I'm saying? Just vibe to it, sway, and then she threw in the Spanish with it. To give it even extra flavor. Then you start to realize like this is just a melting pot of different cultures for some odd reason. And
Feels like America.
Yeah, right. It just feel like it was crazy, and it just came together. Gemini Music, and he's out of California. I think his studio, I was told, was in the what they do the custom shops like the cars. L.A. What is it called? L.A. something.
Okay.
But he has a studio in that shop.
Oh, nice.
And so he's made songs with Lil Pump and other big artists, and so he was the one who found her to be on there, and so we've been working and talking, and he heard because he's friends with my teacher who taught me Hebrew, and she was telling me that she was trying to help me pitch the song, find somebody who knew Israeli, but she told him, he jumped on it, so. I'm glad he did because it's like I said, it's one of my most unique songs on this album for sure.
Well, Shalom Shabbat, brother. I love it.
Shalom Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Listen. I don't know Hebrew, bro. Listen, man.
It's all good.
Topher, I'm doing it again. I'm jumping in again, Dusty. I'm sorry. I just got so many questions, Dusty. Okay, chill, Dusty.
Dusty getting dusty.
Chill. Listen, Dusty. So
there it is. First one of the night.
The pirate track on Olympus Has Fallen, man. How'd you come up with that? Because that was, I love that.
So
it fired me up.
Yeah. So everyone knows me mainly for the Patriot and how I incorporated, the Scottish song or poem. My mother told me. So everyone loved the blend.
Still love that song.
Yep.
They love the blend of hip hop with that.
Yep.
And I think I was one of the first people to do it because I don't think nobody really has done that, right? So I was like, I want to do it again because I want to kind of make it a signature thing. Like you're gonna get a song from Topher that's gonna have that type of vibe and sample. And it's just so happened that Calm McGinnis, I think his last name McGinnis, but I know his first name is Calm, COLM. But he went stupid viral on YouTube. I think he has 16 million views right now of him doing like an acapella version. So what you hear is him doing that. Like that's him doing the deep in the top, high and everything. That's him doing all the harmonies.
Awesome.
And he killed it. And I was like, yo, I want to make a song to this. So I reached out to him and said, hey, I want to sample your vocals. He said, cool. And he blessed it. Like I would have put his name on there, but a lot of them don't want the credit. I don't know. I guess they don't really want to be officially associated.
Yeah.
But behind the scenes, they don't really care about it. He did say after he heard it that it was the best sample or remix of his vocals he's ever heard. So
that's awesome.
Nice.
Well, whatever that matters, right? And so I sent it to my boy Killer Vic, the same person who flipped the Patriot. He's also a Marine veteran out of New York. And at first it didn't sound like that. I always tell people it never sounds like that, which you hear at first. But so I worked with him. I said, okay, let's bring it back some. Let's let's do this. And then eventually after that, I wanted to sound like I gave him a song like have you ever heard Bella Ciao by Hobson?
Uh,
So you can check it out. So he
Okay.
incorporated the song Bella Ciao. Bella
Okay.
Ciao, Bella Ciao, 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 da-na-na-na, da-na-na. So based on the show, what was one when they were robbing the banks, not the heist. Is that what it was called? I forget the name of it. They were robbing banks, but they always had that as a theme song.
The
So
Italian Job.
no, it was the recent on Netflix with
Oh,
the mask.
Is it Army of Thieves? Army of Thieves? Am I thinking of the right thing, or am I thinking something different?
You
I
think
think
it's
it's
something
called
different?
like Money Heist or something like that.
Money Heist. There we go.
Money. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
something,
yeah.
like, something like that. Anyway, it's that's what he based his song on, and I wanted to kind of incorporate something as well. So I was like, I've always get inspiration from Hobson just like because of how he mixes up his lows and highs. So that's why on this one I said, hey man, you gotta give me some Hobson, like you gotta ease that joint up in there. So we were just going back and forth, and it ended up with that. And the Hello America is just draws everybody in. You like, hey, you talking to me? Wait a minute, now, what's going on? And then don't you feel like you're neglected? Sound like a infomercial when 2 a.m. in the morning. Don't you feel like you're neglected? I do.
Yep.
The government getting more power from every person infected. Really? You know what I'm saying? So I had some slide stuff in there too, like not by the virus, but from the news and the politicians selected. So that's my way of saying they stole the election because we didn't elect none of these officials. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you still can say what you're trying to say without being blatant and people get it. Because they'll look for that, but he said election stolen, so we gotta take the song down. It's like, no, they're selected. It just turned out great, and I brought DQ on because I know the last one I did, I had the Marine rapper, and I wanted to bring him on, show him some love, because we all a trio, Space Force, and he murdered it. People say it's one of their favorite verses from him, and it was just solid. We shot the music video back 2 weeks ago in St. Louis when I was up there for Blexit, it just turned out amazing. So
yeah. Very memorable. I had to get the lantern out, so it was good stuff, man. I loved it. I love it.
I'm surprised you asked about the meaning behind it, but I'm pretty sure you probably already know.
Hey, listen, what's the meaning? Go ahead, man.
So 2 lanterns. So not only is it but the pirate clothes, but just like Paul Revere said, 1 if by land, 2 if by sea.
Yeah.
But not just that, but remember the reason why they needed to know if it was by sea is because it's less time to prepare. So what I was saying was we ain't got that long to prepare, guys. It's getting to that point. But on top of that, the Bible talks about the 2 witnesses that's going to be there. And when they speak, they breathe fire. So you see all this fire around us as we're speaking. And so it goes into it, So there's just that little symbolism there that makes people think like, what does he really mean? So there you go. So now they can go read and research and kind of figure out some stuff. But it's definitely a deep video along with that song.
I just appreciate when people when they're in their craft, no matter what it is, and they've thought through it, like every angle, every possibility. I think that's just awesome, man. Whether you're rapping, writing books, anything like that. I appreciate symbolism. I appreciate that, and it just gives it layers. So it's all good. Okay, Dusty, I'm done. Ask your questions, Dusty. Okay, go.
All right, you nailed all of them.
Come on, man.
I got questions. I got questions. I want to actually talk some news of the day.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yowie wowie.
And thank you, Dusty, for voluntarily paying your taxes to the Rube Empire.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Dusty. Thanks, man.
So,
but we have some big news that has dropped today.
yes, hit us with it.
So one of the big news things is the U.S. trucker convoy has started its trip to the Washington, D.C., and the Biden's response is to bring in 8,000 National Guard to shut down D.C.
Cool. That's gonna be fun.
With another 20,000 in reserve.
Man. Isn't it awesome when your own government basically goes to war against you in your peaceful protests?
Yeah.
That and the fact that when it was really damaged, they just sat back and just let it happen. It's like,
Yeah.
Right. Just let it burn. Let it burn. It's fine. But
Mhm.
Topher, you're
oh
sounding
wait,
like a
we can't
conspiracy
have
theorist.
actual peaceful protests.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh.
can you just siege DC and just park all the trucks in the bridge from Arlington to DC and just siege it? I mean, is that possible or is that too far? No, that's horrible. I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't entice that. But
now you're gonna be locked up. You're gonna be the ringleader. They're gonna come get you. It's like, yep.
yeah, they're gonna come get me, man. Strong one did it, man. No, but no, I what do you think? What's the primary goal of this, though, for a trucker convoy at this point for America? What is the what are they? What's the deal? Especially when, like, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I've asked that same question. Like, it sounds good that we try to do the same thing as Canada, but Canada had federal mandated mask policies and stuff. Right before, or at least shortly after they did it, or right before, we kind of got rid of a lot of our federal mandates, and it's more of like a state by state thing right now.
Well,
Yep.
what happened in the United States isn't so much the fact that the government gave up okay, we're not going to push this anymore. It's the Supreme Court blocked them from being able to do it. Now, the only reason why they pulled back on it was because the Supreme Court said, no, we're not going to back this. You can't do this. This is unconstitutional. And they said, oh, so sorry. You should still do it. Oh, so sorry. So it's just a matter of time before they try to push something else because new variant, new this, new that. Jabs number 8. Come on, let's go. Still in New York and California, you have to have a passport in order to go into a restaurant.
Yeah, but once again, that's a state
State by
thing.
state.
That's a
So that's
state
why I
thing.
was saying. So I was thinking we should attack state by state
Yeah.
because
And I agree.
to be more efficient. Because once again, unlike Canada, we got 50 states. It's huge. America's huge. So I just think that would have been the more efficient thing. And then if it got to the point where they want to reenact stuff, and then we'll come back with a convoy going to DC or something. But if it works, it works. I'm all for it. I do encourage people, if you are not self-sufficient enough to live off the land or find other resources, you might want to load up on some stuff just in case.
Yep.
Not out of fear, but out of preparation for what is to come. So because they're it's already disrupted, so it's gonna be disrupted even more.
Yeah.
And that's what I've been telling people is but like I said, I'm hoping the message get across. I may join the convoy just because I want to kind of, but when they get closer to me, right? When they get closer to Mississippi, maybe if they go through Kentucky or something like that, I'll probably ride up there and join them. But we'll see. It's gonna be interesting. I know if they're gonna shut down DC and not allow us in DC, period. I'm not sure how that's gonna work. I'm not sure if they really planned it or talked about it. I really don't know I don't know any big senators or speakers who's a part of this. I think this is just people coming together and that puts me in the mind of January 6th.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you got some people who are not really strategic and understanding of these things, it's easy to turn something peaceful violent by not having strong leadership.
Yep.
So that's what I'm kind of worried about, and I know they're gonna do this. I know they did this in
100%.
Canada. I know they're gonna put some people in there to make us look bad, man. So that's my concern right now. So I don't know if I want to really go out there because I really haven't heard nobody really be like, we're gonna do this. This gonna be the checkpoints, and this how you know it's our people, or how we're gonna do this, or you know what I'm saying? Like, who gonna be talking to the media?
What's the goal for this convoy? What are they trying to end? Because
Well, I think that
quite
they're
honestly,
trying to petition
here in the state of Florida, there's really no mandates.
No.
There hasn't been for a year and a half.
The
I think
last
they're trying
holdout
to
was
get the
Disney, and
feds.
they gave up.
I think they're trying to get the federal government to end mandates altogether.
True.
Which they still have on healthcare workers, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's on healthcare workers, and probably they probably want them to make it so that what's going on in New York and going on in California and other places, has to end because the federal government said so, which I think is a backwards way to think too. Because
I think that's
that's not
gonna work.
fruitful.
yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want the federal government to have that power. Just put that out there.
exactly. Now, I'm not saying that that's 100%. I'm not 100% sure on that, but that, I mean, what is the reason then? It seems to be a little reasonless, and my understanding is that there's multiple groups. So like the articles I see say, it's coming out of LA, but then I hear about a group forming in Texas on the Glenn Beck show. So what's
they're supposed to be meeting up at key points throughout the country. So
Okay.
there's
it's the
some
same thing?
in Utah, some in Arizona, some in California, and as the trucker convoy works its way across the United States, through Denver, through St. Louis, through Indianapolis, and whatnot, they pick up more and more of these convoys meeting together and merging and creating this
Gotcha.
long train of trucks.
Gotcha. Okay.
I'm with Topher. There's going to be a splinter cell in that bad boy, and it's going to be, it's
Gonna
going to be
FBI.
khaki wearing, sunglasses wearing truck driver magically
Yes.
shows up.
Same
khaki
outfit every
shorts,
time.
khaki
It's
shorts,
the same-
button up
same
shirt.
thing. They got your piece. Oh, I'm just part of the convoy. Yeah, they're going to say
Breaker,
Black
breaker,
shirt with
Look,
1-9.
the
Velcro
one with
across
the
his chest
swastika and stuff. Yeah, that's you already know.
Yeah.
yeah, it's so ridiculous, man. But
I was
go
gonna
ahead.
say, just before we get off this, what's okay? So just like how Kaepernick used to kneel during the national anthem, right? His whole idea was to bring attention to what was going on. Once you brought attention, you move on to the next part. He never moved on to the next part. He just kept kneeling and trying to bring attention. But
Yeah.
attention was there. So we already got the world attention based on the convoy in Canada, right? And kind of like Americans too, because we've been keeping up. So I'm like, so what's the next move? Because if you go and you cause all this damage and you get framed, when you could just stay home and not drive and do the same thing that you're trying to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
See, that's what I said.
I don't
said
know.
the exact same thing. Was it 2 weeks ago? That you can protest by not driving.
just don't drive. I don't know.
Have a mass sit-in, pretty much, of truckers that say, "Oh, sorry, can't do it." And
here
that's
comes-
exactly what Canada did with not the truckers, but the tow truck drivers.
Mhm.
They kept trying to get tow truck drivers to come out and grab these trucks and move them out. And all the tow truck drivers said, "I'm sorry, all of our people have COVID. We can't."
Here comes the foolishness too. Why are we copying the Canucks? I mean, no offense, like why are we doing that? Like, and to be fair, like Canucks don't fight unless there's a hockey ring. Okay, so like nothing was going to happen there anyways. You
Well,
put a lot of
they
volatile
did it
Americans-
right though.
Listen, you put a bunch of volatile Americans in a position to for them to January 6 you again. Like I don't know. I think I'd have to concur with my boy Topher here. This is probably not a good look. I don't see. The other thing too is like the states that still have this, right? We're in a federal system, so states still have autonomy, sort of what they do, and so on and so forth. And I say that with a little bit of a giggle, but if New York really wants this to end, why aren't the people uprising to end this? If California wants this to end, why aren't they uprising? I mean, especially after the Super Bowl and a bunch of maskless celebrities and all that fun stuff like that. Like,
Well, when you
like,
say
right?
when
know.
you say uprising, what do you mean by that?
What I mean by it is just I think that nonviolent compliance, non-compliance is definitely Martin Luther King style. There, if you're tired of wearing masks, don't wear a mask, right? Like me and Matsky and Dusty were, not rocking masks here in Florida. I purposely walked into places without masks. I wouldn't do it.
I refused to wear a mask until I had a manager walk up to me and go, "You have to put a mask on or get out."
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
they
fine.
sent, they eventually sent me the right before what was it back in January, what's your vaccination status? And I nicely declined, like it's none of your business. You know what I mean? So it just is one of those things, right? So I think you need to see a spirit of no, piss off,
Pushback.
before I'm coming out of Florida to go help you in New York. Like, first of all, I don't want your people here. Quit moving here. It's disgusting. I'm tired of,
Please,
you
I
know,
want to buy a house. Stop moving here.
you're stinking up the place. But no, I mean, like, straight up, like, if you're not willing to fight for it, it is what it is, you know. And I think that maybe it's unique, you know, in the South. You know, we just have a little bit different temperament, you know, and we like to say no, and you know, stick it to authorities. So it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, no offense, I feel horrible saying this. I'm going to sound like a horrible person, and I should empathize and care and so on and so forth. But no offense, like if you're from New York and this is happening, it's your fault. If it's happening in California, it's your fault. You know, the difference with Canada is, to Topher's point and to your point, Dusty, this was a national mandate, okay, by a dictatorial, you know, son of, you know, Fidel Castro, you know. So at the end of the day, like, you know, Castro Jr. wanted to do what he had to do and, you know, try to impose this stupidity on his country. So the country needed to do something. I think that they succeeded. A lot of these provinces dropped the mandates and so on and so forth. So, you know, it's still going to be rocking and rolling. Go ahead.
You see he dropped the emergency powers today?
We had to.
That was my next article.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There was
well,
five
he kept.
lawsuits that got
They extended
filed against
it.
him.
They extended it for 30 days on Tuesday, but not because like they actually voted to do so, but because they basically just ran out of time in the session. Oh gosh, I mean, we tried to get to it, but we're just, you know, just ran out of time. I'm so sorry. You know, what are you gonna do? You know.
Yeah.
But then the next day he drops it, like you said, because they opened the lawsuit.
Well, they arrested everybody.
Well, they had already arrested everybody. They got one of the leaders, Tamara Litch. She's charged with organizing mischief, which carries a
up to 7 years, right? Something crazy.
10 years. 10 years. 10 years, and there's no bail. Meanwhile, the guy who tried to run over convoy people is out on bail and is only, you know, up for 10 months. Literally tried to run people over. Yeah. So, okay.
Canada.
So, here's my question
But here's the thing. She's up for sedition. Right?
My understanding is organizing mischief is her charge.
I heard it was just mischief, but I mean but still, mischief's a 10-year offense.
Yeah, give me a break.
I mean, so what happens on a hockey rink every time they play? What is that? Is that like pillow fighting?
That's shenanigans. That's shenanigans.
Okay, guys. This is breaking news. This literally just broke just now.
Okay.
Putin announced invasion of Ukraine. It's actually they're moving into unclaimed parts of Ukraine.
I mean,
so
he's just peacekeeping.
That's happening literally right now.
Question.
He's accusing of the U.S. and allies of aiding and abetting Ukraine and giving weapons of mass destruction to Ukraine.
Yeah, we've been kind of doing that since I was in the military, to be real.
I don't think they've given them weapons of mass destruction. I think they've given them a ton of guns and missiles, but mass destruction, that's usually, that's usually nuclear of some sort.
Yeah, but doesn't Ukraine have like the third largest nuclear blah, 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 blah. Don't they have a lot of nukes over there?
Yes.
Okay. Now, here's and I'm not trying to be an a-hole, okay? I'm just asking you a serious question, Topher. Serious question on this. Shoot it down if, whatever. Why should I care? Go.
I don't care. Everyone's like, yeah, we should go help. I'm like, why, guys? Why we got to keep helping everybody? We need help here. Like, what are we doing?
So,
like,
we got to protect their sovereignty.
Syria and horribly pull out, and then you mad at that, and then you turn around, it's like, yeah, we're just gonna go to war again.
Yeah.
It's like sometimes you're like, look, bro, we've been trying to help you and train you for the longest. It's time for you to stay on your own 2 feet. If not, then you got to go join their club.
Yeah.
Until something else happens, man. But wait, go ahead. Just
Well, they're
So-
saying we got to protect their sovereignty, the Ukrainian sovereignty. It's like I'm worried
can't
about the
protect our own.
sovereignty of the individual here in America, because it almost doesn't exist anymore.
I don't, because we're getting banned and shadow banned and censored over here, with our sovereignty and
Yeah.
but yeah, we're gonna go fight for theirs. And I'm just like, I'm tired of this, man. We don't need to be doing anything. I said, and then
Exactly.
the people's like, yeah, they talking mad noise because Trump not in office. I'm like, I'm so confused by this. Like, y'all
Yeah,
complain
oh,
about
yeah.
Trump starting World War III, never started a war, actually ended wars.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now here we have Biden, and no one's saying anything, but they're agreeing that's a good thing. I'm like, how? this
Because-
is not good.
It's called the Big Six. Every corporate entity is controlled by 6 companies. Like Fox is saber rattling so bad, and it's like disgusting. Like nobody, even the most thoughtless Republican, rhino Republican, has no palate for this at all. Has no desire to go to this,
No.
to do this,
No.
whatsoever. Right. So you've got when MSNBC and Fox are saying the same thing, we probably should run the other direction, in my opinion. Like if they're in agreement, like Russia bad, and then Putin, and I don't care. I don't care.
No.
Don't care.
And here's my other thing. If Ukraine has nukes and Russia's invading them, why can't they just lob a couple of them and go, hey, back off? I mean, they have their own weapons. They have their own military. They have their own everything. Why do we need to get involved? Unless Russia is invading like Poland, who is an ally of ours,
Yeah.
an actual ally. Why? Why are we getting involved?
I'm going to put this in because Topher's on the show. I can do this because I got to keep it deep south. You know what I mean? To me, Topher, this is like the Iron Bowl. Like 2 teams I hate. I don't like Auburn and I hate Alabama. I want a lot of injuries and maybe the stadium to collapse. But so that's kind of how I view this. It's like we need to protect the sovereignty of Ukraine. Why? They're corrupt. They're corrupt. They're just as bad. They're just as bad.
Did we complain about what was going on with Ukraine and Joe Biden and or Hunter Biden and all that? Like,
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
We
Obama,
did.
Topher,
We
Topher,
did.
First of all,
Nobody else did.
no, he said,
That's true.
No, you guys are all missing the narrative. Remember, there was a bad phone call that we impeached Donald Trump for. Remember?
oh, that's right.
Yes.
Oh, my bad. I forgot.
That
It was
bad phone call, Russia collusion. He was really there with Russia, but no, for some reason they didn't attack the 4 years he was in power.
Exactly.
Whatever.
Exactly.
But hey, who cares?
No,
It's the Iron
the
Bowl, let it
reason
all down,
why-
so.
They're corrupt, and we corrupted them. That's why we have to protect their sovereignty, so that we can continue to corrupt them. They get cut off
I
as
think
soon as they
what
become part of Russia.
I think what you mean, not corrupt, you mean launder.
Spasiba?
Because
Yeah, same
all,
deal.
all they're doing is laundering the Biden's money. I'm sorry. Did I say money? I meant their clothes, laundering their clothes.
gotcha. Yeah.
Sorry, I
Yeah.
don't want to be
Yeah.
Epstein.
Well, hey, did you see Epstein's pimp got Epstein? Did you see that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That was
What-
one of the other articles I was going to talk about.
What's amazing is this. It's like, so like, here's my, the plausible foolishness part of the show. Whatever they're talking about is not the story ever,
Mhm.
ever. It's just not like, because even, and I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but even the trucker deal in Canada, it's not even the story. It's not even the real story. Like Biden's sitting there, well, not sitting there. He doesn't really know what's going on. His wife is sitting there in the bunker, really excited that the world's talking about everything other than the crappy performance. And this is like a theme with Biden, right? So Biden says you ain't black if you don't vote for him. George Floyd all of a sudden happens. Coincidence? I wouldn't say that, but it is what it is. But that seems to be a pattern here is, crime is ridiculous right now. Inflation is insane. Gas prices suck. Southern border is terrible right now. There's so many other things that actually affect my life I don't give a rat's behind what the Ukraine does. They've got guns and they've got nukes. Handle your biz. If you can't handle it, too bad. Dust
Guess
for them.
what? Russia's going to take you back.
Rush for them, yeah. There's my Russian for you. Go ahead.
Speaking of that, there was CBS News actually released a tweet today, and it was hilarious. They said the gas prices, the economic everything going on in the U.S. for the last couple of months was due to the ongoing situation in Ukraine. They literally blamed
Such garbage.
I'm not kidding you.
Yeah.
I
saw that one.
Because Ukraine is such a big oil producing country.
It's so
I think
pathetic.
Texas outperforms Ukraine by 2 times the oil.
So I was like,
oh my gosh.
This is why I want us to go to war. So you can blame all the failure of Biden's presidency on the fact that we had to go to war.
Well, it's the only thing that globalists can do to get approval ratings is war. I mean, Bush did it, right? Start a war.
Yeah.
When in doubt, start a war. You have a really contentious election, hey, exploit a terrorist attack and then start a war with Iraq because weapons of mass destruction. It's so tried and true. But the difference between now and 2001 is we have like the internet's permeating everything. We can see the patterns. We can see like this makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's before
Your tactics are old.
Well, I mean, you got to think about it. Even back in 2001, right? Like I was 2001. I was a senior in high school. How old were you guys at that time?
I was
graduated college.
I was a sophomore.
College.
I was 5th grade, I think.
5th grade, yeah. So we're old as heck. Thank you, Topher. We appreciate you.
Thank you. I'm the oldest one here. Thank you, guys.
So, anyways, no. We love you, Topher. No, but think about it. Like, what was your source of information back in 2001, 2002?
News.
Oh, CNN, Fox.
Yeah.
And they were like, weapons of mass destruction, yellow cake. Remember yellow cake? Yellow cake's everywhere.
gosh.
Like literally, that's where the news source was. We didn't really use the internet to actually understand that they lie to us and they're full of it. I think this is a different.
I kept waiting for the chocolate frosting to come down, but
for the yellow cake, yeah. I haven't eaten since noon. I'm doing that intermittent fasting Topher because I'm fatty and I really want to eat some food right now. So it is what it is. Here, hold on, let me drink some water. I'll be really full. No, I'm just kidding. But no, like we have too many multiple sources of information.
Yeah,
we do now. Because here's the thing too. It's like Russia's invading. Are they? I mean, what am I supposed to believe at this point? Like straight up. And I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but like, really? They told me January 6th was an insurrection. They told me that Donald Trump was colluding with Russians. They told me that it was completely debunked that Trump was being spied on as a candidate and as the president. Okay?
And then, yeah.
They told me that the Iran deal was really good with Obama and it was dog trash. They told me that Fast and Furious never happened. They told me that COVID was going to kill every single American, which is weird. We're still here, right? It's strange. I don't understand how
20%.
20% of America is going to die, right? I mean, it's like,
have we hit 1% yet?
I mean, at some point, the boys cried wolf, and the wolf, we don't believe you. We just don't believe you. Even you saying that, Dusty. My first blink was, did they really? I mean, did they? Maybe. And at the end of the day, Topher, I just don't care. I don't care, man. Why do I need to care?
It's not going to solve our southern border crisis, which I heard said a bunch of thousand more people about to come through. Man, it's
the biggest month was last month. The biggest month was last month of people illegally crossing.
That's my thing. Like they completely ignore all of it. They don't even talk about it. They don't go do it. Someone said, why don't the truckers just go put the trucks around the border? just around the southern border.
Yeah.
So all the cameras can be on the truckers so they can actually see the people.
Yeah.
Since the attention will be on them anyway.
I was listening to Clay and Buck today, and yesterday they were interviewing Donald Trump, and the number one thing that he said was he's really going to send troops to Ukraine when he could just send those troops to the southern border. where we really need them.
Mhm.
And what's crazy,
I wonder
here's
what
the other thing,
20,000 National Guard would do at the
southern
border instead of protecting the elites from the evil truckers.
Now,
For the-
now here's the kicker.
Right?
Here's the kicker, boys. So Trump's like, hey, listen, by the way, all of the every material needed to build the complete wall has already been purchased. You guys know that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's raw material. There's just material lining the border, and the federal government has stopped the state of Texas from just picking it up and putting it and assembling it. Because in Texas tried to usurp the federal government. They started building like a couple miles worth of wall, and they stopped them again. So like this is the clown world we're in, where CBS, Ukrainian oil, and that's what that's what they're talking about.
The chat is
go ahead.
the chat is saying gold just started spiking and markets are selling off hard on the Russia news. So that's gonna
Let it begin.
Yeah.
I would say
So
let
it begins.
Well,
I have a
here's the
question
thing. Go ahead.
that I want to address, but I'll let you finish your thought.
Well, stock market's going to love this, man. The military-industrial complex just got a boner. Like, no offense, they're ready to rock. So they're ready for this.
Invest in Harris Corp.
Yeah.
Boeing or what's the other ones?
DARPA.
McDonnell Douglas.
Yeah.
What is Nancy Pelosi? What's she buying up right now? Whatever she's buying, I want to. The chat, Smith and Wesson. Start buying Smith and Wesson. Yeah. I just don't care, man. I don't. It's just nobody cares, man. At this point, you know what I mean? It's like a Lindsay Lohan movie. At this point, nobody gives a rat's ass. Like I don't care. I don't want to watch it. It is what it is, dog. I mean, it's cool. Cool commercial at Super Bowl, but I don't care.
But it's a train wreck. You can't keep your eyes off of it.
I mean, I can't. I just, bro. That's the thing too. Like Topher, I think here's my question to you, man. Like, how do you, you're a follower of Christ. You love Jesus, man, and you see, like, I've had this like existential battle in my mind for my eschatology right now. Like, if you're gonna say, well, where I came up through the church, I got saved in a Southern Baptist church, which Southern Baptist church is going to hell in a handbasket, and that's another story for another time, whatever. But I have a very premillennial, beating into my head, and I can't help but listen to these Presbyterians over here, and they're like, well, we're postmillennial, and things are, things are getting better, and I have this duel where it's like, oh, the world's getting worse, but then like perspective, is it really? You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
And so as I'm battling these two ideas in my mind, trying to let the Holy Spirit guide, if that makes sense. Obviously, I'm a pan millennialist. I think it's all gonna, it's all gonna take care of itself. It's all gonna pan out. But I guess my reality is this: like, Biden's so trash. I just don't even want to pay attention at this point. Like, I feel like a normie. I feel like a normie every day when I'm looking at the news cycle, because I'm like, oh, crime sucks. Oh, okay, California just did another smash and grab. Sweet. Oh, somebody else died on the border. Great. This is sweet. It's like, okay, the Canucks are now a dictatorship. Congratulations. So we're surrounded by Cuba and Canada. Sweet. How do you stay engaged with all this madness? I guess that's my question. How do you stay engaged in all this?
Let's just say I might not stay as engaged as I did a few months back.
I feel you.
And that's because, like you said, I'm just starting to realize, even when I was trying to stay engaged, even people on the right, it's at the end of the day for them, it's just, clickbait, trying to get this buzz, and they don't really care about things that really matter, right? Like I said, my album, like, I'm actually out here changing culture, and politics is downstream from culture.
Yep.
But they're worried about more politicians. I'm just still in my head. I'm like, I haven't seen any policies y'all presenting that's gonna secure the vote, but here we are pushing politicians, and y'all not doing anything to change anything. So it's just like, man, I'm seeing. So yeah, it's just kind of like, it's gonna be just stupid cycle going on back and forth with no one really getting any true change. So I'm just gonna focus. I actually say this in my song, "Give Them a Show." I said, politicians out more efficient with policies giving more tissues. Steady growth, but what's more efficient is trusting God and making more Christians. So I'm just gonna focus on God and make more Christians because these folks are just trash. And at the end of the day, only thing what's most important is whether you're gonna go to heaven or hell. And we need to focus on that and hopefully get you saved.
Amen.
Because these folks, man, are just I'm telling you, like Turning Point USA, Charlie Kirk. I said, okay, cool. Like y'all got the young crowd. Y'all gonna bring out some young artists. They had what they call the biggest Super Bowl conservative event. And guess who performed?
Who?
It was like a couple days of performances, and it was only white country artists that no one knew because they were old people like Lee Greenwood who ain't had a hit since Donald Trump played his song every time he walks out. Like no one know these people. They're not even out pushing any policies or nothing.
No.
But they overlook Bryson, me, and others who are actively out here. And with all offense, no one's dancing to "I'm proud to be on TikTok." They're dancing to "Facts Are Racist" or stuff like that.
Yep.
Know my name eventually. That's what they're dancing to on TikTok. So this is the
Know my
culture.
name.
You
My
guys
name's
are
gonna be it.
yeah.
I'm telling you that right now. Bold prediction on Plausible Foolishness. I'm going to tell you what's going to be awesome from your album. You know what I mean?
No, it's crazy to say that because my nephew said it when he first heard it, and everyone who heard the album has been saying, "Yeah, Know My Name," the one. So I said, "All right, so I got to do a video to that one because that's the one right there."
Well, here's how you know a song's good when you keep going back to it like immediately. Like I'll get like I'll get to I'll get past I'll get to Uprising and then I go back. I always just keep going back to Know My Name. I'm like, oh, I need a hit. You know, it's like gotta get that hit. You know what I mean? Gotta get it. But so to your point, man, it's like this is why I've kind of abandoned. It's like, for example, and I'm not trying to be an a-hole, but it's like CPAC. I don't care. Like I don't care about CPAC. I don't care about like I pissed off a lot of Republicans on our last show last week, so it was fun. We got some nuclear heat because we had a bunch of homers for Republicans. And the thing is like, at the end of the day, I was just explaining to the guy, like, listen, 99% of the content on Plausible Foolishness is conservative leaning. Okay, it just is what it is. But like pointing out the reality that Marco Rubio is not going to get it done for you guys. Sorry, you know what I mean. Mitch McConnell will not change the course. Charlie Kirk, no offense, he's hugging it up with the alphabet people, and he loves those alphabet people, which is a little sus for me, but that's another story for another time. But like the problem is this: the insanity, the illogic, just the illogic of the LGBTQ, whatever AIP, AR-16, whatever the heck it is now, okay, does not comport with the conservative value. But you're trying to merge two things together. You're trying to I don't know, plug in a celery stick to the wall and make sure it lights up. Like it's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So like, to me, at the end of the day, if you're seeing Gen Z and you're seeing the younger generations coming up more conservative and you're coming out with, "I'm proud to be an American," like, you don't get it, bro.
You're not engaging.
If you just don't get it.
If you're rolling out freaking Dan Crenshaw, well, he's got an eye patch. Sweet dog, but he's butt buddies with George Soros. Congratulations. Like we need I don't know, man. We need to get people more focused on what the truth is. That's Jesus Christ. After I just said butt buddies, but Jesus Christ, and
we talk about butt buddies, but hey, man,
he does. Just saying, man. It is what it is. But I think that's kind of the reality, and that's what I've been struggling with the last couple of months, because it's like, for me, I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, what's the solution? Put a rhino in there so we continue the war, continue the machine. You know what I mean? And I think that's why they hated Trump so much. And again, like, I don't want to deify Trump. I'm not going to do that. Like, there's a lot of flaws in the Trump game. Trust me. I respect and liked what he did and loved what he did. I don't even say like, I loved what he did as our president and as our 47th president coming soon. But I didn't say that out loud. I'm not making a prediction or anything like that. But if I were, there's a lot of things that, he could definitely help out, especially from, the things that he did from a Christian perspective, defunding, defunding Planned Parenthood. No Republicans done that, because they're like, well, we really don't like killing babies, but pro-choice. It's like, dude.
It's a hot button issue. You got to understand. And I really want to get reelected. So
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You got to cut me some slack here.
These jackholes are playing to the middle. The middle doesn't exist. I said that in the last election.
No.
There is no middle ground. Okay, you have right and left, and really pissed off liberals that their college didn't get paid for. Biden sucks. Their gas prices are high, and people are getting killed left and right. And oh, by the way, this random jabroni from some other country that I don't know jumped the border and broke our immigration policy. And I've got to deal with that now. Oh yeah, and I got to pay more taxes for that. Sweet, congratulations. So like, I hate to say Biden's a good thing. It's kind of awakening for people to get politicians in positions that will actually do something. But I'm not holding my breath for Charlie Kirk. I'm not holding my breath for Dan Crenshaw. I'm not holding my breath for whoever the whoever the Daily Wire promotes or whoever Glenn Beck promotes. Because no offense, it's the same crap over and over and over again. Ted Cruz, great guy, brilliant guy, not getting it done. He called January 6th an insurrection.
Yeah,
it was an insurrection. So you're just in the pockets too, bro.
He tried to walk it back. You saw he tried to walk it back.
No, dude. He's done.
I said, nah, son. I said, no way. No way.
Listen, the moment he said that, it was like, no.
Here's what it comes down to, Topher. Honest to God, the reality check was this. Ben Carson drops out of the race, in the Republican race. Without hesitation, he said, Donald Trump's the best guy for this job. I'm like, what? Ben Carson loves Jesus, follows Jesus, wants the adultering, puffed up, hottie reality TV star mogul. He thinks that he's a better fit than all these other career politicians. That woke me up to that right from the beginning. And it ended up being true. It was almost a prophecy. Like, yeah, this will be a guy. These are the type of people we need to move the needle.
I just thought, what the heck is wrong with Ben Carson?
Say what now?
I thought, what the heck is wrong with Ben Carson? He's lost his mind.
I thought, okay, when Ben Carson said that, I was like, wait, Donald Trump, the Democrat who calls himself a Republican?
Exactly.
What are you talking about? And then
that was my estimation.
You really start changing minds and putting forth policy that went, oh, that actually makes sense. Dang,
well, yeah,
I really like
basically,
this guy.
Once he got elected, I was like, okay, well, he's in. Let's see what he does.
Yeah.
And then knocked it out of the park. But before that, like, I don't know where you got the idea that he was going to be good.
Listen, man, I was just reading.
I really didn't.
Listen, I was reading 1 Corinthians 12. One of the gifts of the Spirit is discernment. Okay, I don't want to say that I have it. Okay, but the Lord gives it to me. You know what I mean? So I can't be hating.
Humility is also.
What?
Humility is also.
Hey, listen. I'm just going off of know my name. Okay, just quote know my name. Okay, it's the gift that you have is the thing that you're good at without that much effort. Okay, I'm just quoting 222. Okay, that's all I'm doing here. I'm keeping it real.
Okay, I got one more question. This is a little bit of a thinker, and I'm going to bring it back around to the convoys and whatnot. So, in the summer, the city's burning. All the rhetoric about defunding the police. There's a strong conservative back the blue movement, right? But then nowadays we're seeing the police in Ottawa gleefully trampling old ladies and kneeing, people already in their custody.
They're just doing
just being brutal. And it feels like Back the Blue has died a necessary death. And not that, and not to say that, like, defunding the police is the answer. Obviously not. Crime is up. I'll leave it to your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts. Topher.
Did you not, bro? It's almost like you just read my tweet I made like last week about this. Like, okay. It was a huge conversation, but a lot of people that were like former LEOs and Karen agreed with my sentiment. I said, man, I literally said, looking at what's going on in Ottawa makes me go from Back to Blue to screw you too. right? I literally said that, and a lot of
feeling
people was
that.
like, of course you got some people's like, don't be throwing them all in the basket. I'm like, and then I explained to one guy who was carrying it because he left the post, and then after I explained myself on a live, he was like, he understands now. I was like, yeah, you could say it's not all cops, but where the cops arresting the cops being unconstitutional? Because you can't say, oh yeah, I would never do that. That wouldn't happen if I was a cop. Cool, but are you preventing it from happening? Because otherwise, it doesn't matter to me. You're still part of the problem. So it's
Yep.
like, so that's why I was like, I can see this happening in America, and I've seen it. You go look at New York and other places where they're doing crazy stuff, and it's like I see y'all doing this.
Yeah, it's true.
Um,
Ottawa wasn't the first time.
you know what I'm saying? It's not the first time. So that's why I was like, man, I've never been a back to blue like all the way. I've never really said it. I don't have any songs about it, but I had no issue with it. Right.
Yeah, same here.
But yeah, after saying that, so I can't say back to blue because I can see how that could be turned, and I'm not convinced that those guys will uphold our constitutional rights because y'all haven't proven so. Like quitting your job, cool, bro, but you ain't going like you ain't doing nothing else. Okay, I'm gonna quit my job and leave it to everybody else that's gonna do all the beating and punishment. It's like, man, that I love that idea. No, I don't. It's like I need to see someone step up and actually arrest this person, just like we was talking about how. And man,
They need to be reported. And
let me say this real quick. Nobody's watching.
He's looking around. He's looking around. He's looking around.
I agree with BLM.
What?
I agree with BLM when they said the cops that were sitting around looking at George Floyd die. They should have stepped in and stepped up and stopped that guy if they knew that was wrong. Which I agreed in the first place, but I'm just saying that's what we have here, and it's just a sentiment that we all share across the board, man. And I've come to that conclusion, and I'm not backing down from it because, like I said, and I said in the tweet, I said I'm just doing my job. Excuses not gonna work anymore. It's just I don't hear that. I don't care if you got a family. I don't care if you got this and that. Like if you took an oath, period. Right?
I will tell you this.
Go ahead.
I will tell you this. My family, all law enforcement, and I was in law enforcement as a 911 operator. And I will tell you this, anytime I saw anything that even smelled bad, it got reported. And it was not tolerated by anybody. All of my family have all said the same thing, and I've asked them the same question. Listen, if this goes sideways, are you going to back it, or are you going to stand up against it? And every last one of them have said the exact same thing, and I trust them that they say what they mean, and they mean what they say.
In breaking news, Topher Town music is now officially Black Lives Matter. Just kidding. You heard it here first on Plausible. No,
right.
I think to Topher's point too, it's like, listen, I have friends that are cops, so I'm never going to throw everyone in the bus, but I think it goes jurisdiction to jurisdiction too, right? Like a lot of the bad stuff that we've seen, where are they at? George Floyd, right, wrong, or indifferent, happened in Democratic Minnesota. Okay, like it's a reality. Ottawa is super left. You know what I mean? Like, California, LA is the joke. My sweet, tiny little 5'2" white wife has only been in the back of a cop car once, and it was in LA because she didn't have her ID on her. Okay, think that through. My wife at 4 a.m. gets thrown in the back of a cop car because she didn't have her ID on her driving. Okay. In Beverly Hills, because we're she's dropping me off at UCLA or whatever. LA cops are not good cops. No offense. If I piss them off, it is what it is. Come see me here in Florida. You won't because you're scared to leave Southern California. But it is what it is. But my point is this: like, I think a lot of this has to do with the policies of the people in charge in these jurisdictions, right? Because I can think immediately of the Virginia protest again. Shocker, Virginia again. When all those people showed up with their guns, right? Everybody showed up to reject Northern Blackface's edict about guns. And the cops literally, they asked the cops, "Are you going to stop this?" They're like, no, it's their constitutional right to carry these weapons. Now, one, it's smart because you got a bunch of people with guns, probably don't want to pop off, right? But the reality of the situation too is I think it's going to come down to jurisdictions. Now, I pray that that's the case. I pray that in Florida and in Mississippi that the cops have a sense that, I hope that's the case. But to your point, I mean, a lot of things died in 2022. Black Lives Matter died, Back the Blue died. A lot of these ideas died really quickly, and they'll come back in 2 years when they need it for when Trump runs again. But it is what it is. And we'll forget losing $96 million and buying Canadian palatial mansions in Toronto with Black Lives Matter money, but we'll forget about that. It is what it is, man. But I feel you on that. Topher,
I want to say that the problem is the sinfulness of man. No matter what
100%.
jurisdiction it is, there's going to be a portion of the law enforcement community that is not there to protect and serve, but there for the power rush that they have over their fellow man, right? Mm-hmm. And the other part of that is that, there's the command structure that dissolves responsibility. Like I'm just doing what I'm told.
Sure.
I'm following my orders. I'm not responsible. The person in charge of me is responsible. So there's that. On top of that, there's we have this illusion that because we pay taxes that they work for us.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. Think about the crap that we saw in Ottawa, and all of these people are probably honest tax-paying citizens, and their taxes are paying the salaries of the people that are beating them in the streets and trampling over them with horses.
Ooh.
No.
Professor
no.
Whaley. Professor Whaley.
No.
What are the gun laws in Canada?
Yeah, I know that probably terrible.
Ooh. What are the gun laws in California? Ooh. What are the gun laws in New York?
So that negates my points?
No. I'm conferring your point. Like, people are evil. You know what?
Yeah.
Evil stops in the face of power. They don't like it. They don't like it when you get pushed back.
I also am making a point towards decentralization of the power of the police as well. Like, I think a big problem is that the police are agents of governments and not agents of communities. And we like to think that our government is a representation of our community, but it is not.
No.
Especially nowadays, because who of us are involved in our local community? I'm not.
Dusty is.
Not. He doesn't count.
Dusty's on the school board, man. He's fucked up. Listen. But there's multiple ways to handle this, right? Dusty's got his kids in public school. He's on the school board.
That's good.
You got homeschool
I'm on the
kids.
PTA.
My kids are in Christian school. We're like, there's many ways to attack this monster. Independent ways.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm saying we need to, but we don't. Is what I'm saying. Yeah, he's part of the PTA, but that's not the school board. That's not offices. And then at the same time, you have to be a really, solid, because corruption is waiting at your door, and its desire is to have you, but you must master it. If you enter politics, they want you and they want to own you, and it's so easy. I mean, it's just so easy. Else we wouldn't see it happen all the time.
That's because they pay you so much that you can build a whole different lifestyle than you had previously. So then you become dependent upon that money and that lifestyle. So now you're doing whatever you can to stay and keep that lifestyle. So that's why I always think the salaries are way too high, because you get people who just want it for the money, and you already know, for the love of money.
I think leadership. I think the Congress. I think local city councils and mayors and things like that should be paid the median income of your city.
Yeah.
You know, Congress should be paid the median income of the entire country. You know, same with the president. Make these
Yeah, I
people
love that.
actual public servants.
Right, a real public servant. Yes.
Real quick though. Breaking news: Plausible Foolishness exclusive. Matt Whaley has become Alex Jones. Alex Jones on here. There's so many breaking things happening on Plausible Foolishness today. I love it, man. Yeah, man. No, hey, we got final thoughts for Topher, man. We got any final questions for him, man? We don't keep him here all night, man. But
Well, where can people reach you? Where can they buy your new album? Because you know, we want to help keep you in the top 10 at the very least.
Yeah, just grab it on iTunes, and that would be the best place. And like I said, not Apple Music. A lot of people assume Apple Music and iTunes are the same. They're not. So you have to go to the iTunes store and actually purchase it for $8. Amazon.com is a good place to buy it as well. And if you want a physical copy, you can go to my website, tophertown.com, and get you a signed copy. I'm doing them daily at the moment. So if you order tonight or whenever this airs, you'll go ahead and get a copy that same day. So grab it. This is how we win. We have tomorrow is like the last final push for the first week sales, because I released on a Tuesday instead of a Friday. So our week is shortened, but I wanted that date specifically. And that's,
Sure.
I think, what add the uniqueness to this album, because I can forever say that my album 222 was number 2 in the world on 22222 at 222. You know what I'm saying? So
On Tuesday.
on Tuesday. So
Awesome.
I can forever say that, man.
Which
So,
was also your birthday.
which was also my birthday. Yeah,
Happy birthday.
exactly.
It was your birthday too?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. So yeah, it's man, it was very fun that day. So
Nice.
I think
That's
just
awesome.
having accolades like that is a little bit more fun. But I really want to get a Billboard with this one, just because so many artists have not had a Billboard on this album, but they deserve one, because I mean they brought the heat. Like Uprising, Kill Will, Murder, that hook. The hook is so catchy and good. Shadows, you got Dimitri, Murder that. Jera, she murdered her. Enough is Enough, and yeah. So that's what I want. I want other people to win more from this than me, because I got billboards all around the room, and this will be my first Billboard album, and we can make it happen. So make sure y'all grab it on iTunes, guys.
Heck yeah.
Yep.
Well, I think they got something wrong, guys. They said the third time's a charm. Well, they're full of it. Fourth time is the best time, man. I thought that was the best show of all time, man. So I love it. Matt, send us home, baby. Send us home.
Well, thanks for coming on the show again. We appreciate you. On
Yeah.
that note,
Thank you, Topher.
you've been watching Plausible Foolishness, the home of the Rube Empire, where the people are free, the taxes are voluntary, and we serve freshly roasted liberal logic every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 9:30 p.m. right here on twitch.tv/Plausible Foolishness, YouTube, Facebook Live, Rumble, anywhere you can get a podcast, Instagram, and minds.com. Peace out. God bless. See you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Topher.
Appreciate it, fellas. Thank y'all so much, man.
Thanks, Toad. Awesome.
Say, look, hey, free Masana for your honor. Left on boxing them chains. What was my dog, man? Why that bullet had got lodged in his brain? My mind is insane. A memory card is locked in the game. These optical frames spot ops and leave a block full of pain. Did the impossible, cross the tightrope while dodging the rain. I put in stitches in my Glock, no, I am not finna aim. Swear I got robbed and joined the army, so my spot could remain. One lost his life in North Carolina, hope he not as I sang. Drinking sorrow away on my alky still for the soldiers we lost on the battlefield. Why am I hurting myself as I bury on belching out death when I'd rather heal? And most of these rappers rappers ain't that for real. They Michelin, that shit, they got for real. Talking fly when we push that in vacuum seal. Some of my homies not pushing on that deal. 900 put music to dream hours. We been up grinding up 10 hours. They ain't believing that team power, then we had a run of 14,000. I thank you all for supporting us. This right here for the voice of the warrior. Victory is a beautiful woman. We went through the rain while in love with Victoria.
Whether big or the finer things, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain. Whether big or the finer things, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain.
Hard to hop off of the plane, just to get back in the trenches. My sister, my brother was slain, and I haven't seen any mentions. With social media and networks, so irritated that my head hurts. And when I do, it's only excerpts, small commentary from the experts. No appreciation for the lives lost. I post it up with the iron cross. When the smoke clears from fine off, all I think about is my fault, man. Should've been there to protect you. The bullets that came and they wrecked you. Now it's my duty to go and collect you. Wrapping the casket, sending you home. Not full of madness, knowing you gone. How could this happen? Tell me I'm wrong. Dip in the sadness, leave me alone. Doctor got me medicated, wanna get me regulated. Helping me recover with the pain. Even though we celebrated everything you dedicated, now I gotta make it through the rain.
Whether big or the finer things, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain. Whether big or the finer things, whether wood and a golden frame, I still love, I still love, I still love through the rain.
Army specialist Aaron David Robinson is accused of killing Guillen, and his girlfriend Cicely Aguilar is accused of helping him get rid of the body. And tonight, we have Aguilar's confession about exactly what happened the night Guillen disappeared.
Well, today marks 2 years since an Air Force veteran was shot and killed by a DeKalb County police officer. 27-year-old Anthony Hill, whose family says he suffered from PTSD, was naked and unarmed when he was shot by Officer Robert Olson during an encounter.
Olson was indicted by a grand jury and faces felony murder along with other charges. And now we're going to the DA has appointed a new prosecution team in that case.
Yeah.
Got another one. Yeah.
Everybody hate Chris.
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 They hating on my face.
They hate number face.
They hate me for my fam.
They hate me for my family.
Now they hating on my faith.
Now they hate number face.
But they made me what I am.
But they made me what I am.
They hate me cause of Trump.
They hate me 'cause of Trump.
What they gotta do with this?
What they gotta do with this?
But they really go to show.
What they really gonna show?
They everybody hate Chris. Think you know who I supported? Biden, no Trump, but debate I avoided. My vote this election I never reported. Cause Jesus, my family, my job was important.
Way more important.
Now I'm trending on Twitter, all because some actors chose to be bitter. Refused to fulfill my role as an avenger for Biden's campaign, so they say I'm a quitter. I don't bother with the hurt say. I'm not involved in politics in the first place. But if you really want to talk about a story, then you really need to worry about Hunter and his drug face. Cause I heard what they found on that hard drive when I've been chilling, getting busy on the par 5. Going fishing, tending to my farm, live a very simple life, and they still give me a hard time. What's crazy is it started all randomly, attacking who I am and my belief in Christianity. I pray to God that he helped me with my sanity, cause every single day I'm losing faith in humanity. Making my wifey go crazy and act up. Robin and Marka, I appreciate the backup. If this continue, I may need to pack up. My life as I know it, then lead to they slack up. And since my church is conservative, now they hating on the way that I prefer to live. Calling me a supremacist, quite interpretive. I swear I do the most with emphasis on the superlative. I became a target for your hate. This won't only happen when you're great. Guess I consider my fate. In the end, though, I'ma be straight. Everybody hate Chris. Everybody hate Chris.
Everybody hate Chris.
Everybody hate Chris.
Everybody hate Chris.
Everybody hate Chris.
Everybody
They hating on my face. They hate me for my fam. Now they hating on my faith. But they made me what I am. They hate me cause of Trump. What he gotta do with this? What it really gonna show? That everybody hate Chris. Yeah. It's gonna be legendary right here, man.
Let's get it.
Word. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. I'm just here to bring the facts. I'm not worried about your feelings. It's the way that y'all react. It goes way beyond the killings. Y'all can focus on the bad while I keep being the realest. Got me looking at the stats, trying to find out what the deal is. Take a look at DOJ, murder rating, what they say, 52% on homicides, like we ain't taking vacay data saying, I don't get it. Then you blame it on your payment, no it's not. You just ignorant, you the problem, just admit it. Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. Situations getting dire, this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro. I said it. I just said it. Drop the bomb. Boom. A black liberal ain't nothing but a house Negro.
See that nonsense stretching, found up in the comment sections. Off a limit, calling it progression. All you wanna do, follow deception, no direction. See the scope, it's TT and dope. Every argument will go past yours, and why they're feeding us like goats. See now, only gonna find the way truth into lie. Knowing about it, but taking two from the fight. Maybe you don't make it out doing right. They'll kill you and they will it suicide. Whistleblower, to some you're just a voter. Never wanted you to be a pistol holder. Every candidate been a joker. Oh no, sir.
Tired of us going through this cycle. Blaming others means you in denial. Situations getting dire, this is vital. So it's time for us to crack open the Bible and get back to the truth.
Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it. Yeah, I know you ain't gon' like it.
Some of you ain't got a clue.
Heaven knows that I'm fighting. Heaven knows that I'm fighting.
Get them back to the truth.
Y'all so pressed for master to swear up and down that Black Lives Matter and that they need, y'all need master and master need y'all. I don't need nothing from nobody. I got Jesus, baby.
White people could create black supremacy, and this is what I'm talking about.
I feel like Terry Crews.
I feel like Terry Crews.
I became a target all simply for my views. I'm willing to go and die on this hill. Yeah, Terry Crews. I questioned BLM and that's all it took. Now they call me Uncle Tom. You ever read the book? I'm seeing black supremacy everywhere I look. Exposed the whole agenda, dog, and I left them shook. They coming for my head, now I'm speaking out. On the road to equality, ain't no different route. From Don Lemon and others putting words in my mouth. To the gatekeepers I still don't know anything about. That's the hard truth within the black race. Typecasted as a white man in black face. So they label me a traitor, a disgrace. That's why nowadays I feel like Terry Crews.